Thousands of iron discs rest quietly across our streets, serving as the only barrier between the sidewalk and the steep drops of the sewer system. These manhole covers are heavy, weighing anywhere from 100 to 250 pounds, yet we cross over them daily without a second thought. Given that most of our urban infrastructure follows the straight lines of our buildings and roads, it would seem logical to default to a simple square or rectangular shape for these access points. However, right-angled covers possess a specific geometric vulnerability. Measure a square cover's side. It fits the opening exactly. But because a square's diagonal is longer, a slight rotation creates enough clearance for the cover to fall straight through the hole. This creates a significant real-world danger. A 200-pound piece of solid iron falling into a tight maintenance shaft poses a severe risk to workers below, while leaving a hazardous open pit for pedestrians and vehicles above. A functional urban lid has to meet several rigid criteria. It must be heavy enough, easy for one person to move, and most importantly, it must be physically incapable of falling through its own frame. The circle meets these requirements by eliminating the drop hazard entirely. This works because of a property called constant diameter. If you measure across the center at any angle, the distance is identical. No matter how you rotate it, even turned completely sideways, the lid remains wider than the hole, making it impossible to slip through. Beyond safety, there is the challenge of transportation. Moving 250-pound iron discs without heavy machinery requires a shape that works with the human body. While a square lid requires multiple people to lift deadweight, a circular edge acts as a wheel. A worker can flip the cover onto its side and roll it to the maintenance site, reducing the likelihood of workplace injuries. Once the cover is back in its frame, it faces the constant, heavy pressure of passing traffic. A square cover concentrates the weight of a passing truck at its 4 sharp corners, which eventually leads to fractures in the metal. A circle distributes that weight evenly across its entire continuous edge, allowing it to withstand higher pressure over a longer period. This geometry allows the cover to manage gravity, friction, and extreme localized pressure simultaneously, ensuring the street remains stable for decades. These physical advantages also translate to the financial realities of city planning, where thousands of covers must be produced efficiently. Casting a circle in an industrial foundry is simpler than casting complex angles. The molds are easier to design and more efficient to fill, which lowers the cost of mass production. This combination of simple manufacturing and structural durability extends the functional life of the cover, saving cities from frequent and expensive infrastructure replacements. While we often associate standardized iron components with the industrial age, the round utility cover is actually a much older engineering concept. Thousands of years ago, the ancient Romans utilized their own version of the round cover for their urban water systems. Roman engineers used circular stone lids to access and maintain their vast networks of underground aqueducts and sewers, establishing a standard for maintenance that remains in place today. Modern manhole covers are essentially a refinement of that ancient blueprint, proving that the most effective way to manage a city's underground utilities hasn't changed much in 2 millennia. Because the circular design solved the technical problems of safety and durability so early on, the shape became a permanent fixture of the urban landscape. It worked so well that the basic design has required no major updates for generations. For most of the last century, these covers remained purely functional, heavy industrial slabs stamped with simple utility names and set into the cobblestones. However, as the engineering became standardized, cities began to see these stable metal surfaces as a unique opportunity for design. Many Japanese cities have transformed these utility lids into highly detailed public art. These intricate, colorful designs feature local landmarks and cultural symbols, turning a routine piece of infrastructure into a source of civic identity. Modern iterations have even evolved to address environmental issues. Perforated circular designs are now used to manage stormwater runoff, allowing water to pass through to the sewers while filtering out debris to prevent urban flooding. The circle has managed to bridge the gap between the invisible mechanics of a city and the visible art of its sidewalks. The next time you step on a manhole cover, you're crossing a point where Roman sewer maintenance, Victorian manufacturing, and modern public art intersect at a single circular opening.